The Computer Chronicles is brought to you by RonDiamond.com, the oldies site on the internet. Music and memories from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, not just another jukebox. Additional support comes from the law offices of Ivan Hoffman, lawyering with integrity for internet law, copyright, trademark, and other intellectual property law. And by TechWeb for up-to-the-minute technology news. Hi, and welcome to this special edition of the Computer Chronicles. We're on location here in Dana Point, California, just south of Los Angeles, for the second part of our coverage of the Digital Living Room Conference. We're taking a look at how the digital revolution is changing everything we do in the home, on the road, even in the air. One of the most awesome demonstrations here at the conference was something called Connection by Boeing, broadband internet access for airline passengers. It used to be that if you were stuck on an airplane for several hours, you were out of touch with news, with email, unable to access the internet, but that is all about to change.
Connection by Boeing is essentially a two-way broadband service to the fleet of world commercial aircraft, where we are providing connectivity for passengers. The connectivity will present itself in the form of internet, live TV, and a unique feature we think that caters very well to business travelers, and that's the ability to access their corporation's intranet account while they're traveling at 39,000 feet.
Boeing's new in-flight internet service is due to launch late next year. It will cost somewhere between $10 and $25 an hour.
Well, as a business user, I'll pay for it, sure, because even if it's $25 an hour, that's a downtime area for me where I get no work done. And I think that corporations who are sending their people back and forth across country on a continual basis would just as soon them have productivity time. At $25 an hour at a corporate layer is probably not expensive at all. As a consumer, I'm going to be much more prudent in what I do. I may log on, get my email, spend 2 or 3 minutes on, get some information, and then log off.
Logging on to the net while you're in an airplane is probably the ultimate wireless connection, but the idea of staying connected without wires was everywhere here. One of the most outspoken proponents of wireless connectivity is Philippe Kahn, CEO of Starfish. Kahn says people have learned that web access is a way to escape, even from work.
People would drive in 8 a.m., sit in their cube and wait, and do their spreadsheet, their word processor, because, that's what they're meant to do. And suddenly, something interesting happens. On their machine appears something called a browser. Browser is an interesting thing because a browser and TCP/IP gives you an escape vehicle from Dilbert's cubicle. So now you're sitting down and, wow, I can get out of here.
The main vehicle for wireless web access is the new generation of web-enabled cell phones and PDAs like the Palm 7. And there are some amazing new applications on the way.
There's another company that works with Palm 7. Or a Palm 5 with an OmniSky, any sort of wireless Palm, where you're listening to the radio, and wow, that's a great song. I love that song. What is it? We all have those moments where we don't know what the song is. Maybe it's one we've heard before and new, and we've forgotten it, or maybe it's a new song. We don't know who the artist is. We don't know what the song is. This service enables you to say, I am in San Francisco, and then once you tell it San Francisco, it gives you all the possible radio stations, and it's KQED, and once you've done that, you say, at 3:30, what song was playing, and that song pops up. Okay, but here's the interesting part. It says, click here to buy that CD.
This represents a whole new category of business called M-commerce, M for mobile.
What's going to be powerful about M-commerce on wirelessly enabled devices is notification. So I can imagine going to a website and looking at pictures of something. Look at a digital camera, I want to buy a new digital camera. And basically saying, I don't want to pay $1,000 for that camera. I want to pay $800 for that camera. When that camera costs $800, let me know. And the software will go out and monitor the prices. And when there's a price that's acceptable, then your phone rings. It says that camera is now, push here to buy it.
One technology that may drive the new world of intelligent wireless devices is something called Bluetooth.
Bluetooth is technology that allows multiple devices to work and communicate together and share information and know about each other and each other's capabilities. And it's pretty smart technology that will allow, this cell phone, this pager, this digital camera to work together and work together wirelessly in multiple environments, at the office, at home, et cetera. Also allow you, for example, if you have a digital camera with Bluetooth on it, and if you have a set-top box in your digital living room with a Bluetooth chip, when you come back with your digital camera, all your digital pictures will be downloaded and you'll be able to watch them on your TV or whatever it is.
In fact, Bluetooth may be the answer to finally getting rid of wired headsets for cell phones.
We've heard from all of our customers in our telephone business, in our cellular business, and in the computing business that they would like us to cut the wires on our headsets. They would like to have freedom. So Bluetooth is very important for us. So we have a dedicated team on Bluetooth development. We've served as a member of the Bluetooth consortium for a long, long time. So it's very important for us. We think that Bluetooth will emerge as an application first in the mobile business. We know that the cellular phone manufacturers are very interested in delivering Bluetooth cell phones, and we want to be there with a outstanding Plantronics Bluetooth headset.
Then what you could have is you really could put a personal organizer and a cell phone together, because the big problem is try and give someone a phone number from your organizer when the organizer is built into your cell phone. It's like, hello, Joe, wait a minute, hold on, you got to look down here and do this. Wait, the first 3 digits are, and then do some more and get, that's not going to work. If you can have the headset that just goes down to your belt, you can have the cell phone and the PDA in one unit. You can even throw in a digital music player if you want, all in one unit, and you can listen to the music, you can talk on the phone, because all the weight and complexity of that is going to be down here.
One of the goals in the wireless handheld world is to reduce the number of devices we all have to carry around.
Probably the best example of that exists today, and it's still not where we're going to be very soon, is the Microsoft Pocket PC device. Here it is as a Palm Pilot-like device. It's a little bigger and heavier and more expensive than a Palm Pilot, and it has lousy battery life compared to a Palm Pilot, but it's also an MP3 player. It's also a digital voice recorder. It plays digital movies. It does all kinds of things that a Palm Pilot can't do, and certainly a cell phone can't do.
We tend to think of websites as collections of information that we look at or read or print. But one of the really interesting topics here at Digital Living Room was the so-called talking website or voice portal. This is a website that you surf with speech and that has the ability to talk back to you.
One of the problems with
there are 3 companies vying for dominance as the premier voice portal, and each has a slightly different approach, though all are free. This is a service called Quack.
Go to movie reviews.
Movies, sponsored by IMDb. For which movie do you want a review? You can say top 10 to hear the current top 10 movies in the country.
Top 10.
The following are the top 10 movie box office hits. When you hear me say the movie you want to see, say that one, and I'll get you information for that movie. Gone in 60 seconds.
That one.
Gone in 60 seconds is rated PG-13 and has a running time of 119 minutes. When his little brother gets in over his head with the mob, a master car thief must steal over 100 cars in this turbocharged crime thriller. So what do you think? Would you like to find out where it's showing?
Yes.
Another contender in the voice portal category is called Be Vocal. Their emphasis is on travel information.
Be Vocal driving directions.
Be Vocal driving directions. Powered by MapQuest with NavTech on board. Would you like to use your most recent set of directions?
No.
Okay, let's get your starting point. Name a city and state. Or if you have saved addresses, say home, work, last start, or last destination.
Home.
Home, 1100 Santa Monica Boulevard, Santa Monica. Is this correct?
Yes.
Now let's get your destination. Name a city and state, or say home or work.
Burbank, California.
Burbank.
Finally, this is a service called Tell Me.
What part of New York City do you want?
Tribeca.
Here are 10 Italian restaurants in and around Tribeca. Say next or previous to move quickly through the list. To end this list, say stop. Acapella received 4 Tell Me stars. It's located at 1
Hudson Street.
To connect to this restaurant, say, Connect Me. A Zagat review is available for this restaurant.
Connect me.
Now connecting you to
Acapella.
Let's see what it would take to get a table tonight. So we're actually calling now.
Acapella, buongiorno.
How are you today?
Good, good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Tell me, how late are you open for dinner tonight?
5 to 10:30.
While these demonstrations are pretty impressive, there are still some big questions on the future of voice portals.
I see voice portals, whether it's Quack or TellMe.com or BeVocal or any others that are going to emerge, as a very useful technology. In fact, they may be the realization of voice-enabled devices that we've been waiting for. The problem is they need to be a lot smarter than they are today. They need to, for example, know where you are. They'll do that when cell phones have GPS. They need to have a database that understands not only how to get to where you want to go, if it's a direction thing, but is sensitive to traffic conditions and perhaps even how you're getting about it. So they need to be smarter. They need to have knowledge bases that are much richer.
There's 2 parts to speech recognition. One is actually recognizing speech, which means the computer knows what words you're saying. That is moving along very well and will be very robust within a few years. The other part, which is actually much more difficult, is called natural language processing, and that means knowing what you want from what you say. You can say to a travel agent, as was discussed at the show, tell me when the next flight is to New York, and they'll know what you mean. A computer might really have a struggle and might show you every flight from everywhere in the country to New York, not realizing that I'm here in Los Angeles and I only want flights from Los Angeles to New York.
Much of the work on speech recognition technology has nothing to do with talking websites, but with being able to use your voice, normal conversation, as an interface with today's information devices.
When I talk about conversation, I'm not talking about speech in, speech out. I'm talking about multimodal. On a WAP phone, what you really want to do is say, what's the last 20 transactions in my checking account? And you want it really displayed because you don't want to listen to it. However, you're driving down a car, you might want to hear it. You want to be able to take a pen on your Palm Pilot and say, what's on the to-do list? Delete this one. Make this priority 1. The combination, multimodal, graphics, pen, and voice is really what the interface of the future is.
But the report card is uneven on voice recognition systems. Some people love it. Some people think it's still a long way off.
I personally use a service called Portico, and on Portico I have all of my addresses and my calendar, and it syncs with Outlook, so it's real easy to sync with my computer. And in the morning I get up and I call at Portico and I say, what appointments do I have today? And it tells me. I don't have to turn on my computer. I don't have to futz around. It's very simple. And I can also call it up and ask it to phone somebody if I know that they're on my list. I have several thousand names on my in my address book, so I can say, look up Mara Bunnell, who's my daughter, and it will give me a choice. I can call her at home or call her at work or call her cell phone. I don't have to remember the number or dig around in a drawer to find where I wrote it down. It's always there. It's a very great service. So I think my personal experience has been good with voice recognition. I think it's going to be really huge.
Voice recognition's a long way off, and even asking questions of the net via a cell phone. If it is directions, and if there are some things that you could justify, such as getting restaurant information, that might work, but we're years away from making that happen. I mean, the bottom line is that I still think if you're going to surf the net, you're going to be doing it not by a cell phone or a WAP phone even, or even a PDA. I mean, you may use them for isolated bits of information, but ultimately, the majority of the world is going to continue using a PC.
It's popular these days to talk about the post-PC era, a time when we all don't need Windows computers. That was certainly the case here at the Digital Living Room Conference. Lots of information appliances, simple devices that do one thing very well.
Replay TV allows you
There
to
were
have
several
full VCR
demonstrations here at Digital Living Room of new info appliances. Replay is a good example. It's really a computer, CPU, memory, hard drive, but its only job is to help you watch television. This is Siva. Again, it's a computer on the inside, but its special purpose is to download and display digital photographs. Eye-Opener from NetPliance is another example. It may have a screen, a mouse, and a keyboard, but it is simply an internet terminal, easy to use, inexpensive to buy. And even this is a computer, an information appliance in the form of a piano. There's a Windows PC hidden inside this van covering interactive piano, complete with modem and the ability to upgrade its software. The hot new form factor for information appliances is the WebPad.
There's going to be an explosion of web pads throughout the house. You'll start to have them in the kitchen, you'll have them in the entertainment area. And what it does is it provides a single platform, low cost. Instead of having to have a PC that you've got to boot up, you'll now have these devices that are wireless that will connect back to this service gateway and be able to do things like surf the net, select movies that you want to watch on your entertainment system, purchase things, so e-shopping. So it's really a new user interface that is low cost and mobile.
This is a WebPad attached to a refrigerator. It's simply a touchscreen version of NetPliance's Eye-Opener.
Perfect thing for the kitchen. You know, you can just have it there and you type out a quick email and send it off. Another example would be Web TV, Microsoft's Web TV application, which my grandmother has. My 88-year-old grandmother uses this. And I almost, I don't call. I'm a terrible grandson. But now that she's got email, we're communicating almost every day, and it's wonderful.
One unique approach to the information appliance comes from NCR. We tend to think of e-commerce and brick-and-mortar commerce as two separate activities, but NCR thinks there's room for an e-commerce kiosk inside your supermarket.
All right, you go in the grocery store, you go in the deli section, and the deli section has 4 people in front of you. So instead of waiting in line to explain it, you go up to a web kiosk. This is it. It can stand independently, be hooked on the wall. It's basically a panel PC with some extra resiliency built into it so kids can spill Coke on it. Okay, I go into the deli. Now I'm in the deli on the web. And I can go ahead and buy some cheese, order some meat, get some salads. I can say the amount, the type I want.
Another good example of using an e-commerce kiosk inside a supermarket would be in the wine department.
Now this is great and important. Why didn't I just go up and buy a bottle of wine? Because I don't know anything about wine. Now I could have looked it up on the web before I went into the store. The only problem with looking it up on the web before I go into the store is that I've missed a big piece of it, like maybe that store doesn't carry that type of wine. They don't have that bottle. They don't have that year. So while I'm in the store will only show me pulled down from the web the subset of those wines they're carrying in inventory right now on the shelf.
Another NCR innovation in the shopping area is the digital receipt, zapped wirelessly to your PDA.
How many of you have ever been given a receipt for anything you've ever bought? Paper receipt. Right, we've all gotten a paper receipt. What do we do with the paper receipt? Most of us leave the place, bundle it up, throw it away. It now has no value, so why do we do it? Well, we're supposed to have it. If the thing breaks, that's how we bring it back. Let's say it was all digital and everything you bought could be stored somewhere. It could be sent, emailed to your home. It could be downloaded to your Palm.
While this might seem like a trivial application, it could in fact be quite valuable.
If you could imagine vaults that consumer goods manufacturers access, that retailers access, that consumers access, and find out everything they want to know about their receipt. You never have to find a lost warranty receipt again, never have to prove anything again. It's all existing online, and people like Intuit will have it on Quicken, so your personal finances are a dream.
If there was one overriding theme here at the Digital Living Room Conference, it was that the digital world and the internet are moving from words to pictures, and with good reason.
Photographies and video are part of our lives, our souls. They're our memories. If you think about it, what do you look back on? You rarely look back on an email. You rarely reread your instant messages. But you look back at your photographs, your family photographs, your personal photographs, your business photographs. They capture much more than the words do. And so these are our memories, and the memories, you know, humans are soul machines. They're not digital machines.
Philippe hit it dead on, and that is that real people in real life have different priorities than you might gather from where the industry is putting all this money and so on. People really, really care about photography, and instant gratification as it relates to photography is what's driving the sales of digital cameras.
Kodak demonstrated that you will soon be able to distribute digital pictures even without a computer.
What we're showing here is the integration of our digital cameras into a standard television set-top box. The service is all about simplicity. It allows users to connect digital cameras right to the box and upload their pictures through the broadband service they already have in their home that's serving up broadcast content to their television.
The new Kodak TV system lets you distribute, view, and even order prints of digital photos right on your television set.
It opens up a whole new market for users to repurpose images in a digital world, as well as share them out with other users on cable systems or out on the internet. And those people can also take those pictures and do the same things with them. So great thing for me is if my mother lives in another city, I send her pictures of my 2-year-old on his birthday. I don't have to run to the store and make a print. She sees them on her television and she clicks with her remote and orders prints, and they get sent right to her house.
Nancy Carr of Kodak also demonstrated new capabilities that Kodak will soon be offering for digital photographers: automatic albuming, the ability to assemble your photos in a variety of ways. Kodak also announced a new technology that will soon let you send and receive digital photos on your cell phone.
Another good example of technologies that we're all working on in this industry is the cell phone camera. You know of Docomo in Japan now has an attachment that you can buy for your cell phone and take thumbnails, small little pictures, but you can email them and share them with your friends over the cell phone. The RF wireless technology that will enable us to send images at 20 megabytes per second will be out in the next 2 years, and it'll make it so easy for you to just phone home with your camera and never have to worry about cables or connections or storage devices again.
Another amazing advance in digital photography is this panoramic video camera from a company called Be Here. With this simple lens, you can put live 360-degree pictures on the web, completely navigable by each individual user. An Israeli startup called Flyover Technologies will be bringing real digital pictures to online mapping and directions. Instead of clunky little line maps and disruptive redraws, Flyover will let you look at a real aerial view of the place you want to go to and let you zoom or navigate the terrain in real time. Even web search is moving from words to pictures. This is a new search engine called Ditto.com. It searches for images rather than text, which can be very helpful when you're searching for something like Notre Dame. Do you mean the cathedral or the university?
We are in a group of new companies who are committed to high relevance search, and our approach to that is pictures. At Ditto, we've indexed over 100 million pictures on the web and culled that down to, frankly, the 4.1 million best pictures, so that for virtually any topic you want to go see, you can see the web rather than read the web.
It was clear here at the Digital Living Room Conference that most new computer applications will be delivered via the web, not some shrink-wrapped package on a store shelf. There were many examples. This is Think Free, a complete office suite written in Java. That means the application and your files can reside on the web and be accessible anywhere on any platform. It includes word processor, spreadsheet, and presentation programs.
Yeah, it's written in 100% Java, so it's a very compact code base. In fact, the entire application is only 8 megabytes in size. The idea was to deliver these tiny applets via the internet directly to users and consumers of the technology as rapidly as we can develop it. So if every 45 days we come out with a new version, we push it through the internet pipe directly to the consumer's desktop or laptop computer or even network appliance.
Expert City is another breakthrough online service application offering tech support. With Expert City, you can get real-time advice from a live technician, and their technology lets the tech support person actually take remote control of your computer and fix the problem for you. And this is a totally new concept in serving up web-based information. These little web packages are called dots from a company named DoDots.
You can think of those as bite-sized internet applications on the desktop. And you can use one or you can use a dozen, and you can move them really anywhere that you want. One might give you headline news, another might give you your online calendar, another one might be a music player. For the users, it allows them to get things done because you can use your Merriam-Webster dictionary dot with your word processor as opposed to having to switch back and forth. It allows you to draw on multiple resources to get, if you need to make a decision, you can have 5 dots open at the exact same time.
Despite lots of cool new .com applications here at Digital Living Room, it was clear that .com frenzy is slowing down and that only real online businesses with bottom-line profit potential will survive.
At Upside Today, we started a section called the .com Graveyard, and it's growing as we speak. And if you go to that Upside Today and you go to that part of our site, you'll see little tombstones. And we'll list all the .coms that have gone out of business. We'll tell you how much cash they burned through, and I'll give you a quote usually from the CEO as he's walking out the door for the last time, what he says about the experience. So it's a lot of fun.
In classic internet fashion, we're saying the same kind of industry consolidation that other industries experienced over the course of 10 years. We're going to do it in 10 months. And that's not the end of the world. It's a healthy and it's a good thing. I, for the longest time, would tell people that I thought the internet craze, the stock craze, was the biggest Ponzi scheme ever run. Last one in is going to lose all their money. And that's exactly what happened.
One of the success icons of the internet revolution is Amazon.com. Yet the journalists and analysts here at this conference were wondering whether even Amazon can survive the current market pressure to show profit.
Amazon.com, the head of Amazon.com became Time Magazine's Person of the Year without ever having turned a profit. And so what is he selling? He's selling the hope that maybe someday we will be tremendously successful. Well, at some point you have to have reality. And I think it's not going to happen right away, but this whole B2B, B2C buzzword is all about a lack of reality, a lack of sensing what is it that's important. And ultimately, it's about making enough money to keep your company afloat without having to sucker investors to bring the cash in.
People didn't realize that they were not in the internet business. Amazon thought of itself as an internet business, not as being in the book business. And when the reality kind of came through that we're actually in the book business and the margins are very thin, and you have to discount lots of bestsellers to get the customers in the door. It's actually the same process online, and then building gigantic warehouses in the middle of the desert is expensive, and it turns out that the reality is you're in the book business and it's a tough business.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Stewart Cheifet at the Digital Living Room Conference in Dana Point, California. The Computer Chronicles is brought to you by RonDiamond.com, the oldies site on the internet. Music and memories from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, not just another jukebox. Additional support comes from the law offices of Ivan Hoffman, Lawyering with Integrity, for internet law, copyright, trademark, and other intellectual property law. And by TechWeb for up-to-the-minute technology news.
To purchase a videotape copy of today's program, call toll-free 1-888-310-7850. Please specify the show number and the topic.